Hi, Doc. You said something in a video recently that made me cry. I don't even listen to the person that you were playing with because his language, is so angry. He's a nice guy, but he says such horrible things about other people that I don't listen to him, and it made me uncomfortable to watch you playing with him. So I completely ignored what he was saying, and you spoke up and said, person's name, "Are you homophobic?" And I cried because I'm seeing the videos coming out of Russia where they have the anti LGBT propaganda law. You can't even say it's okay to be LGBT in Russia without the potential of being arrested, prosecuted, and put in prison. And that includes visitors and tourists. That includes people that plan to attend the Olympics from all countries. And I was so grateful to you. I know what country you come from. I know you know the history of your country. I know you know that LGBT people were persecuted by violent thugs like the ones in Russia. In Russia, only 12% of the population polled thinks that it's okay to be LGBT. I know that you live in Europe and I know that you see these hate movements that are beginning to spawn. They're spawning here too. I'm very afraid where I live. I'm in a rural, very religious place. I'm very afraid where I am, and I keep my mouth shut, and I don't let people know who I am or what I think. It's dangerous. So, you know the history of your country. I don't need to tell you, and how propaganda works, and how they pit us against each other. They find a scapegoat. Once some marginalized population, it could be Jews, it could be Roma people, so called gypsies, it could be people with disabilities, hence the word retard being abused. By the way, when you said that about the word retard today, tears again. When I was 13, I went out to visit my great aunt Minnie, her husband, and her son Junior. Never did know his real name. They were ashamed of him. They thought he was retarded. They kept him in a cabin in the woods, wouldn't let him attend school, go to church, do any normal social activities. It, when I met him, I didn't know that he was so-called retarded because I have a very high IQ and Junior could keep up with me, but I had to speak slowly and distinctly. And through the years, I came to realize that all that was quote unquote wrong or different about Junior was that he was hearing impaired. Because I don't know his real name, I can't even follow up and check up on him and see if he's okay. All these decades later, I'll be 58 this month. So thank you again for that. And your companion that you were playing with before, he uses that word constantly. I've tried to speak to your companion about that in the past, and the fanboys on his channel have been very abusive. I've tried to speak to other people on the Minecraft server about uh, the insinuation that being LGBT is wrong or bad. Like the worst insult possible is a man wearing a dress, or one of your players insists that everybody know that his shirt is Chinese red and not pink. Who cares? A real man can wear pink. You know what I'm saying? You talk about how the real world can be very rough and scary and abusive, and you come home and you play Minecraft, and I'll watch videos and I'll see people say really awful things about women, LGBT people, even racial slurs, retard, stuff like that. And you talk about it being a safe and supportive community, but it's not so much for some of us. Um, I know it's a big joke in Minecraft to say, don't waste your diamonds on a hoe. And the double entendre there, of course, is that women just want you for your money, and women are hoes. Um, so if you try to speak up and you're one of those marginalized group, they tell you that you're overly sensitive, that you're crazy, you don't have to watch the videos, on and on and on. In other words, you need to be segregated. You need to be on the back of the bus. You need not to participate as a full human being. And your opinion that all of us are equal is invalid because, of course, gaming is about white males of European descent who are young, they think. None of the new releases of games, heck, none of the new releases of motion pictures, commercial motion pictures in the United States have a female protagonist. Uh, Women are seen as victims or evil in games. That's how they're portrayed. I've got a cough, excuse me. Um, when Notch designed this game, there were no genders to any of the creatures. People and animals reproduce, period. He said they are genderless and homosexual because there's only one sex. Uh, but the actuality of watching gaming videos and stuff, it's as you say, it normalizes this kind of language and this kind of idea that some groups of people are better than other groups of people, and the people who are not better, the people who are perceived as worse, must be tormented and bullied and ostracized and condemned and put down and insulted and lied about. That thing about women are gold diggers, the excuse they're using in Russia that LGBT people are pedophiles, and we're not. Um, the concept that this or that racial group, like the Romas, or here Latinos or African Americans, are lazy or diseased or filthy. Um, it's all lies, and it keeps us from participating fully. Yeah, you're a role model. I try to be too. Whether you want to be or not, you are one. We're all teaching each other. And this is mass media. We are self publishing mass media. And we're influencing, well, in your case, thousands, in my case, dozens of people, many of them young and impressionable and not very well educated, with no background in history or social sciences or science or biology or anything about the human condition. And it's okay. We're all teaching. We're all teaching. And I'm very committed to what I teach and to creating a inclusive environment on my channel. You are the first Mindcracker who has spoken up. And you know the influence of Mindcrack on the Minecraft gaming community, even on the game itself. I feel kind of helpless and lost trying to speak up, and knowing that not only will I not be heard, but I'll be vilified and personally attacked and verbally abused and threatened and told to kill myself because I dared to speak up about something that's important to me. So thank you. Maybe your influence, I mean, you're just playing the game the way you play the game, and when stuff comes up, you say stuff, and I appreciate that. Maybe your influence will have a positive impact. Maybe the jokes about rape will stop. I don't think it's healthy for little girls to watch videos in which people make jokes about rape. I know it's not healthy for little boys. So, as far as cussing and all that, in my real life, I cuss. And about sexuality, in my real life, I could tell you some stories, but I won't. But I feel a personal responsibility on my channel to present the best stuff I know. And I appreciate that you are showing some real class here. Real class. I know, as we say here in the West, the horse is already out of the barn. These kids know what cussing is and all this stuff. I don't think they know the context of the ideas that they're being taught. And I don't think they know what dangerous propaganda it is, teaching them stereotypes and small-minded, bigoted ideas about who people are and what their capacity is. So thank you, Doc. I'll probably never be as popular as you, but I don't care. I've got to do what I think is right. You're taking a risk speaking up. even you, with all your subscribers and your privilege of being a European male, um, you're taking a risk. So, on behalf of those of us who either can't speak up or when we do, we get a lot of flack for it, thank you for having personal integrity. I agree with everything you said. This is Granny Gamer signing off. Thank you for listening.